Hey guys, it's Eric here. Welcome to the first series of the Meditative Hip Mobility Series for the hip and femur. As you can see here, we are in Functional Strength and Wellness Gym, and I'm super excited to bring you guys this three-part series for the hip for you guys all. So let's get started right away. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our legs out in front of us and our legs straight. For some, sitting up like this may be challenging for you because of your body's, your posture, things like that, where you are at right now. If you need to, you're more than welcome to use your hands, your fingertips, to add a little bit of offload, basically, from the body. Because some of you might be sitting here like this, in this position, right, where we want that hip pulled up as best that we can. And so sometimes what we do is we use our fingers back here. So what you're going to do is you're going to seesaw the hip. So you're going to take this left hip and we're going to pull it back inside its socket, breathing in, and then we're going to reach it out. And then we're going to pull it in, and then we're going to reach it out. And if you guys, you'll notice I lifted my leg off the ground, that's good. If you need to keep it on the floor, that's perfectly fine as well. But just really make sure you're reaching from the hip itself, all right? So again, you'll do both sides, then I'll start on my right, pulling the hip back, reaching the hip forward. 3 per side. Once we go there, we're going to go femoral rotation. So keeping the legs straight, same position. You're just going to go one leg at a time. You're going to rotate the femur. So we're rotating this part of our leg mostly, or we're focusing on that. Rotating it down. And then rotating it in. We should feel a stretch inside that hip. Coming in, of course coming out. Trying to keep the leg straight. So try not to bend the knee as you rotate out. You want to keep that leg straight. And again, we go the other side, coming out, pulling it in. Breathing in, and breathing out. Rotating from the hips. Next exercise you're going to do is trying to keep your body as close to your feet as possible with your hands in your upper body. I'll show you from this side. For some of you, this may be extremely challenging, so you may move your body and your arms back. Try not to lean too far back. We want to make sure that we're as tight as we can. And what you're going to do is you're going to lift your legs up, and you're going to hold for 3 breaths. And the really cool part about holding that position while breathing is you can't release tension on your abs. So it teaches you to breathe and stay under tension at all times. Because if you don't, your legs will just drop. It's as simple as that. It's a most self-defense mechanism for your body, which is a really good teaching tool for yourself. So over time, you want to build that breath and develop a bigger and a stronger breath while in that compressed position. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to come into straddle. And straddle, if you're starting from a pike position, you want it roughly around 45 degrees. That's a pretty good start. Now, if you are really tight here, it's completely fine to come in a little bit. That is completely cool. So from this position, again, we're going to stay as upright as we can. If we need to use those fingers, you can totally do that. And one leg at a time, we're just going to rotate inwards. So I'm focusing on the femur, and then rotating out. Rotating in. Rotating out. Remember, breathing with each and every rotation. And again, I would do this side, trying to keep the legs straight. Focusing on this, and breathing out. Coming in. After that, we go into leg lift. So again, straight legs, holding up, 3 deep breaths in that position. Next exercise is going to be the bent leg version. So now we're going to go bent leg. And in terms of where my feet go, it's usually roughly like just outside my hips. Maybe even shoulder width, or maybe even just outside my shoulders. Again, here you can have the fingers down, back behind you if you need the support. But if you can keep as tall as possible in this position, then that's good too. So what we're going to start with is internal rotation, so rotating the femur in. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this hip down, keeping this knee still. And I'm only going to go as far as I can without lifting my hip off the floor. So I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to really try to open this hip. You'll notice I'm really trying to push it out. I'm feeling a bit of a stretch here and some activation in my glute. Breathing in. Nice and easy. Coming out. And again, both sides. So I struggle with my left, right? It's a lot tighter. So I usually try to maybe even do another rep or two, or really just try to spend time opening that position, really getting that hip to kind of fall down a little bit more. And if you're finding you have a significant difference between sides, spend more time on that side, whether it's, you know, you're doing the mobility series or you're just chilling out, lying around. You know, it's always important and it's always beneficial to continue to groove that and, you know, get that flexibility back, get that mobility back inside the joint. So yeah, we got internal on both sides. Always remember to breathe with your breath and try to control it the best that you can. Next exercise you're going to do is external. So basically, if I was in this position, how to get into it is you can just rotate down. So now you'll actually notice I am bringing the hip down. Okay? So in terms of knee positions or leg position, you'll notice it's right in line with my hip, and this is completely in line with my knee. So my ankle and my knee are in one line. Now, for some people that may be too challenging, you're able to bring that ankle down a little bit, but do notice, don't bring it all the way in. Try to find that happy medium for yourself. So what you're going to do from here is, best that we can, if we can go no hands, that's great. If not, if we're finding like we're being pulled off to the side, maybe because right here is really tight on you, then what you're going to do is you're going to use a little bit of a hand. You're going to come down to the floor, leaning your chest on your knee. So it's important not to think like this, bringing my head, but bringing my belly button down. So from there, I'm going to push through my knee and leg, and I'm going to push myself up. Really getting a nice stretch, but at the same time, activating those muscles. Down and up. So for a little bit of an added twist, I'm going to show you from this side. What you can start to try to do is, from this position, you can lift this knee first, and then as you come forward, and I need to use a bit of my fingers here, I'm going to reach this leg back without trying to touch the ground, and then I'm going to push myself up, hold it, and then I'll drop. So coming down, extend the best that I can, get a bit of activation here in the butt, and then pushing up and down. That's a little bit of a different variation, a little bit more challenging, but I would first start with that first variation. Really familiarize yourself with where you're at there, and that may even be hard enough, and you might feel a pretty grandiose stretch in the hip, and that's ultimately what we're looking for. So guys, that's the #1 video of the hip and femur series, and we will see you in #2. Peace. 2 and peace.